Hi, can someone unmute the room?
There we go. Okay, I'd like to substitute Commissioner Droz for Commissioner Fox. And I'd like to have Commissioner Hoffman for Commissioner Minor. Okay.
Would you like to see anybody from Mr. Claffey?
Sorry?
Want to see anyone from Mr. Claffey as well?
I got nobody left. Oh, Susan, I'm sorry. Susan, would you please, you're going to be sitting in for Commissioner Claffey. Okay, yeah, appoint Susan for Commissioner Claffey. Okay, approval of the agenda.
No changes.
No changes, okay. Public participation on items not listed on the agenda, limited to 3 minutes. Anybody wish to participate or talk on anything not on the agenda? Anybody at home?
No one's online, or someone is online, but they do not have their hand raised right now.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll move on. Remarks by commissioners. Any remarks by the commissioners? No. Okay. Public hearing. That's what we're, no,
Yep,
that's
so
right.
no public hearing.
Okay. And next will be approved. Oh, okay, sorry. Approval of the minutes for April 10th has been tabled under review. TPZ regular minutes from April 10th. All right, approval of minutes from meeting of May 8th. Do I hear a motion to accept?
Don't move, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
A second.
Second, all right. Any corrections or no? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. New business. Petition TPZ 24-10, CGS section 8-24 referral of purchase of property located at 28 Garfield Street. Mr. Planner?
Okay, so the town council has referred the purchase of the property at 28 Garfield Street, Newington, to the TPZ for action pursuant to its planning powers expressed in Connecticut General Statutes, Chapter 124, Section 8-24. So the town council is considering the purchase of the property under a special appropriation that includes the language authorizing the town manager to negotiate and execute a purchase and sale agreement for the acquisition of the property. Just to inform everyone, I think people have known and seen the posted, but a public hearing on the ordinance is scheduled for May 28th at 6:15 p.m. In this room by town council. So there is a public hearing scheduled for this, but that'll be conducted by the council. And this is just under a report from the TPZ, an 824 report. So while the potential use for the property has been discussed, the purchase of the property should be considered separately from any other projects. Again, those projects for the property are those that are conducted by the town council. And then ultimately, when you're talking about allocation of spaces for departments in the town, that is through the town manager's office. So the purpose of the 824 review is to ensure consistency with the plan of conservation and development and the comprehensive plan of the town. This makes sure that those responsible for the planning functions, TPZ, get to advise on the proposed acquisition and its compliance with the town's planning documents. So the items along with the goals of the POCD that are generally considered are location, adjacent property uses, underlying zone, availability utilities, and the transportation network. The review should not include things that are not directly related to the planning function of the commission, including sales price or value of the property. These are under the purview of the town council. So 28 Garfield Street, if you want to advance. Just provided an overview. I think we all are very familiar. I think everyone in town is familiar with the location. However, for those of people are watching along or following the meeting, that 28 Garfield Street is highlighted in the red outline on the aerial shown above. As you can see to the left over towards Mazzacoli Way, you have the library and then the town hall. And then to the right, even closer, you actually have Main Street and our downtown area, our town center. So it has good proximity to both town hall and also very close proximity to town center. What I've put up for you, for example, I included this in the packet, just for reference of what the property is. Again, we see the boundaries on that, but this is a 2005 site plan, the most recent site plan that was approved for the property, just so you can get an idea of where the property boundaries are. Again, these are the surveyed property. You can see there's a small concrete block building in the back that does have some parking spaces that are accessed through this lot. And there's also additional access that goes for the buildings that connect to Main Street. Again, this is an area that has a good connected access through it. It works well with the properties adjacent to it. I think you skipped a slide. If you can go back a little bit. One more. Okay. There was a slide with all, okay, keep going.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so in the documents that were submitted to the town council, the project lead had identified some advantages to this property. Again, the reasons for purchasing the property. Close proximity to town hall and other town services, minimal impact to residents and residential areas for any upgrades or renovations to the building. Ample parking spaces, they've estimated about 100. I noted that on the site plan, it had 82. Again, it could have been restriped in the last 19 years and reworked, but at least there were 82 spaces on the last approved site plan. It's easily accessible from the roadway and town hall with a 5-minute walk. Use of portions of the space for other town departments is another potential benefit of this building. Controlled use of the whole parcel, building and surrounding green space, conservation of the surrounding green space, and storage capabilities in the basement. I think I had one more slide of mine. So again, I've included again a little bit of a zoom in of the property. And as you can see what I was talking about, the one building, as you can see in the top right of the picture there, that is not included as part of this property. That is an adjacent property which has access through the lot. And then you can also see the connecting driveway for the property along Main Street that has a connecting driveway to this property as well. Again, that's the design in the town center and the Main Street area to have a lot of connectivity and access for properties, multiple ways in and out that get cars off of Main Street and have too many curb cuts on Main Street, which is of course something we do not want to see. Kind of disrupts the pedestrian environment. So the main items that I highlighted, again, we had the items that the town lead put forward to the town council. But for me, the really important things is that close proximity to the town hall and the town center in Main Street. So at a quarter mile, it's about a 5-minute walk on an average walking speed. You'll have those who walk a little bit slower, and then you'll have those who walk a lot faster. But that is your average walking speed. It'd be about 5-minute walk, as we know, close proximity. Easy access to Garfield Street. Again, parking, roughly 100 spaces, again, per the project lead, and then 83 spaces shown on the 2005 site plan. It's important to note that as I highlighted in the staff report, that through many different town events, this lot has been used in conjunction with the property owner. to allow excess parking. There's been shuttles that run between the town center parking lot to Garfield, to the library, to the town hall, when there was a music event that was held actually in the community center adjacent to us in the same building. That again, OFI was in this building, 28 Garfield Street, was included as part of that shuttle route. So historically, the town has, been able to work with the property owner. However, the property, impending sale and going in that direction, there's no guarantees with a new property owner that you would be able to have the same type of agreement. This would put the property under control of the town. It could become public municipal parking, close proximity to Main Street, close proximity to Town Hall as well. So that's as looking as the positives about having this larger parking lot and building associated with our close uses. And again, the undeveloped buffer. There's nearly 1 acre. It's about 0.92 acres of undeveloped buffer between the building and adjacent residences. In the presentations that have been given, in the discussions I've had, the plan is not to disrupt this area. Again, this is the buffer between that. There's 2 houses adjacent to it. There's the cemetery to the north, and then there's this area, treed area of undeveloped space. And what's been expressed to me is there is no desire to disrupt that. So looking at the plan of conservation and development, again, the acquisition of a single property is typically not designated in the POCD. It doesn't get that fine grain saying, yes, purchase 28 Garfield Street, purchase this. Open space, it does identify some parcels, but for acquisition in the town center, it doesn't say this one, that one, or the other one. However, the main goal that it looks at is when talking about community facilities, the POCD suggests that the town considering purchase sites adjacent to existing community facilities, if doing so, will provide an opportunity to prepare for possible future expansion if or when needed. So again, this is an opportunity to purchase a site that's in very close proximity and walking distance to the town hall complex to provide potentially additional resources, additional space for town functions. And that's the primary goal of tonight, and the purpose of the 824 is looking at the purchase of that building. It's not necessarily looking at the programming of that building. Again, that is a town council and town manager role for that as far as the administration of the government. This is looking at the purchase of the building. And I do have Lauren Rhines, who's the project lead, who's available online if you have any questions. And that's what I have for you tonight.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any questions?
I have two,
Commissioner Hoffman.
I have 2 questions. The basement that's in this building, is there access to it from the outside, such as a loading dock? Or is everything internal where it would have to be carried downstairs? Or
So it's
storage for other groups might be tough. Everything has to be carried down.
So Mr. Chairman, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to direct that to Lauren Rhines.
Yes, please.
So the basement does have a loading area in the back of the building, and it does right now have a service elevator. So it is not suitable for people, but it is suitable for all of the equipment that we would need to get in and out of the building. And part of the project funds that would go into the renovation of the building would be to upgrade that to either a Lula or an elevator system that would carry a person.
Okay, thank you. And my second question, when I was discussing this with a person I know around town, they were saying that the church, First Congregational, uses that parking lot for parking. Will that be still happen since it's typically on Sundays? Any problems with that still happening?
So I can have,
Sorry.
as I said, I would have Lauren answer that as well too, but that's what I would kind of, as I noted too, if the town does purchase this property, it becomes municipal property. That makes it easier to actually to have those community uses use it. If another business purchases it, they might not. And, I've had this situation in downtowns too, where churches don't necessarily want people parking in their parking lots because they're worried about X, Y, and Z. And then Lauren, if you have anything else to add.
I would just echo what you said. We don't anticipate disrupting the use of the parking lot by the church. The only time that there would be a potential disruption is if the EOC was open, or if there were a townwide event, and we would work with them and be good neighbors.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, Commissioner Nafis.
Yeah, just a question on the map you gave us is a subdivision map from 2007. That whole front piece that goes out to Main Street was part of this lot at one time.
Go back to the map.
Correct.
Yes, so
So my question is, I mean, I understand now that lot standalone, we're gonna purchase that one lot, but that access road through there is deeded into the other property, the access from Main Street into the site.
It's through their property. I don't know what easements or agreements.
It's
are
not on the
filed.
plan here. I can't read most of that anyway.
Right, there was a subsequent site plan when Ron's got demoed and they put in the Dunkin' Donuts and the original bank. And that did show that driveway on there.
I can speak to it. I'm,
Commissioner Woods.
I'm the president of the NCC, the corporation that owns the Dunkin' Donuts,
Oh,
which is owned by the church. So I represent the church, I'm a member of the church. We subdivided this property back in 2005. Rick Mills bought it for OFI. We have, as NCC has, as well as the church has, a permanent in perpetuity parking easement on the OFI property.
Okay, Al, Commissioner Nafis.
yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Droz.
What year was this building built originally?
I think 30s.
I asked
It was a
because
grocery store originally.
are we inheriting,
Yeah.
are there gonna be issues with lead or asbestos or et cetera, which we're now buying into?
I could speak again because we own the property at
Please.
one point. I could speak to the exterior of the property. I don't know if the town has done a level 1 survey. I know for a fact that the exterior of the property, the ground is clean.
Okay,
Inside the building, I can't speak.
and that's where you're gonna find your asbestos and such, unless it was used for manufacturing, which if it was a grocery store, it wasn't, but we're
Right.
talking insulation, pipes, et cetera.
I mean, it's been a array of things. It was, again, initially a grocery store. It was Marshall's.
Okay,
It was S&H Green Stamps after that. And then it's been empty for a long, long time.
right. The question's gotta be asked, what are we buying into?
I don't know if that's our purview. I mean, we're really looking at the land.
We're just looking at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
plan, that's all.
I
we're
get
looking at.
it.
All right, Commissioner Droz, all set?
Almost that thing.
We'll open it up to the general public. Anybody wishing to speak for this program,
So,
Please,
Mr. Chairman, it is, so it's not a public hearing?
I'm sorry?
It is not a public hearing. In 824 action, no public hearing was noticed or is typically not held. So it is a commission, not to ignore the public or anything like that, but just I do not want to create an illegal
Okay.
public hearing that wasn't noticed.
All
So,
right, so there won't be any public participation.
yep, again, this is a administrative action of the TPZ acting. And again, this is a report to the council. Again, a favorable report is a favorable report. If it's a non-favorable report, again, the council can approve it. It just requires a 2/3 majority by the council to approve it. So that's really the standard of the 824. Again,
Okay.
it's a referral.
Yes, Commissioner Woods.
I have a more updated site plan if they'd like.
You do? Yeah.
Commission, I do have the newer approved site plan, if you'd care to see it. I can just pop this up real quick. So this is when they put in the Dunkin' Donuts in the original Farmington Bank. And they first redid that, and it shows the driveway and the parking area around that and the access road that does go into the OFI site. Just as a point of reference, it's more updated than the other one.
Thank you, Eric. All right, entertain a motion.
Yeah, so I'll read a petition,
Go.
TPZ 24-10, Connecticut General Statute, Section 8-24, referral purchase of property located at 28 Garfield Street. Motion to issue a favorable referral. Approval, well, I don't know if it's an approval, it's a referral. Petition TPZ 24-10, Connecticut General Statute, Section 8-24, referral purchase of property located at 28 Garfield Street. Reason for referral. This referral does not conflict with the POCD and is consistent with the POCD goal to consider purchasing sites adjacent to existing community facilities. If doing so, provide an opportunity to prepare for possible future expansion if or when needed.
Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Nafis. All right. All in favor?
So you'd have discussion if you wish to have it on the motion.
Any more discussion? Okay. Good. All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Oh, I'm sorry, Susan.
Aye.
Thank you. Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Right? Any old business?
None.
Okay, petitions for scheduling for hearing.
Yep, so this is a note, it was brought up last time, but we've been in contact with the owner at 303 Walsh. We've just requested some additional information. Again, they're looking for a home occupation as a personal trainer, and we're just looking for additional dimensional information on the space that they're using to confirm that it complies with the zoning regulations, to make sure that they have a compliant application when they come in front of you for public hearing. And we are anticipating that likely on the next meeting if we get something from them, hopefully tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Planner. That's current land use application. Anything else? Is that
Yep,
it?
so the current land use applications we keep up there. And then the other item is the town planner update. I don't have an extensive update for you tonight, other than we did inspect the Duncan property at 79 East Cedar today. The property is looking good. As you can see, there's a good I actually like the way that hedgerow pretty much came out in front of the inkberries. I think when those grow, they'll kind of address the engineer's concern about the headlight sweep, since it will be more utilized than a bank, that it will have that in place. Again, they've done landscaping. I think everyone can see the outside dining area that they put in. The tables are looking to come in tomorrow for that. So I think the site, for reuse of the site, that they spruced it up, had to do some cleanup of the building, had to replace a bunch of trim, things like that. When buildings sit for a little bit, it's the worst thing for them. So it's good to get it reoccupied again.
It's due to open tomorrow, I believe, right?
I thought it was.
That's what they advertised.
Yes, that's what they advertise.
Thank you, Mr. Planner. Communications.
None.
Okay. Any public participation, second time around, or items not listed on the agenda?
Go ahead, Rose.
Hi, Rose Lyons, 46 Elton Drive. I want to thank you for the explanation of the 824 referral, as each one that comes through the TPZ seems to be a little bit different. I'm disappointed that comments can't be made on agenda items. So my only comment will be that given the conversation here tonight, it only confirms what I have suspected, that this is more about expanding the town hall than it is an emergency operations center establishment. And I will voice my other concerns at the May 28th public hearing, which I feel is essential, that people need to know exactly what is planned for that building. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Lyons. Anybody else wish to speak?
No one online has their hand raised, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Gonna move to commissioner remarks. Any commissioner remarks? Commissioner Woods.
Any update on Keeney?
So
Forward.
Keeney has gotten additional outside help, and I'm going to be working with them. Someone who's going to be going through and helping them through the land use process. Again, we've continued to work with them. They've submitted draft plans to us. We provided comments, and we've had back and forth as they're refining it. So they're still refining it. As we know, when they came before, as even in the original application, there was discussion about parking. And again, it is in the town center. We're working with them. There's plenty of opportunities for parking within the town center, but they need to polish their application and put it together. So that's what they're working on. Again, haven't heard too much other than that, but they have brought in additional support, and I'm going to be working with them in the weeks coming forward, and hopefully they'll come in.
So will there be a site plan modification, you think, or?
Yes. So yeah, for a building that size, again, the previous approval was just for the conversion of the retail on the front of the building, and it left the other building as it was, the other part of the building.
I thought we approved the
You
brewery.
So,
that was a
That
pre-application.
was a pre,
yeah, and unfortunately, I heard the history that fell through. The person looking to do it, I guess they had a family discussion and decided not to follow that.
Okay.
But no, we are looking forward to them. And again, the goal of that building is for them to try to get as good of an understanding as they can get for the building and discussing it with them, and then come to you with an idea of this is what it's going to be, so they don't have to keep coming back. The goal is, not to have them, once they actually do have a plan going forward, I would not want tenants to have to individually come in here for an approval every time, because that's kind of daunting and it might have, make a tenant shy away from the building.
again, I'm getting old and my memory is fading me, but we didn't approve a plan for the building with all the different
You-
facades? Or
You
was that
approved,
pre-
you basically approved a change of use
Mhm.
from what it was for the front part of the building and the facade improvements. But there was no, at
So
that
more
time-
conceptual.
right, there was nothing
Okay.
about tenants, what the uses were
Okay.
going to be,
Okay.
just.
That's fair. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Woods?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, any other commissioner remarks? Commissioner Droz?
Quick question, just to follow up. I know I mentioned with this, off, away from the desk, but just so that the town folk know we're following up, what ended up happening with the access way at the back of Churchill Bridge?
Yep.
The
So,
condos, because you were gonna follow up on that. I
Yep.
know that was probably one of the more contested public meetings we've had in a
Yeah.
while.
Churchill Bridge has been looking at the options there and looking at the system, because the first point for them is to identify, again, and they have been working towards this, to identify, is the electrical conduit there? Is the system functioning? And again, they're working with Eversource, with meters and all that, because, you need to know where your baseline is. That cannabis facility has not really come in to do their full build out or anything yet, and it's not operating. Once we get closer to operation, I think there'll be more discussions. But again, right now it has been Churchill Bridge, the association, figuring out what is the exact constraints and what level was working to know what needs to be done. Yeah, we need a baseline to know it's not just okay, it depends on what the town supports. Again, they'll have to come in, talk to the town manager and work through whatever is going to be worked out in that area.
Well, I know the biggest bone of contention was the passageway.
The gate,
From
they
the
have
back
an
of
existing
there,
gate there,
so-
for like you said,
Yeah.
they're evaluating that infrastructure.
Yeah.
Can we reutilize it? What's there for electrical, all that kind of stuff. We need to beef it up. So those are the things they're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, and the key thing about that passageway, it's actually Churchill Bridge having the rights over the property in front of it.
Right.
So yeah, it's a historical one before they even had that development put in place.
Mhm.
And there are agreements filed on the land records between the two owners.
All right.
Thank you. Commissioner Droz, you all set?
Figured it was a short meeting, I would ask.
Thank you. Thank you very much for everybody attending. We got a lot done. An important piece of, GA 24 is finished. I'll hear a motion to adjourn. Second? All in favor? Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a good night.